Warning, warning, your ego will not like this lesson. The ego would never in a million years want to be a follower, okay? And that's what today's lesson is all about. Lesson 324, I merely follow, for I would not lead. The ego just threw up because the ego sends you to leadership training. The ego wants you to be entirely, overly confident in its egoic thought system. That's what the ego wants, and society commends you for it. So let's see what lesson 324 says, and then we can make fun of it all we want. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation to me. You have set the way I am to go, the role to take, and every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way. I can but choose to wander off a while and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you as you direct me and would have me go. So let us follow one who knows the way. We need not tarry, and we cannot stray except an instant from his loving hands. So lesson 324 says, we walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure and guarantees a safe returning home. So, I mean, it says other brothers can follow us, but we follow him who knows the way. So do you know the way to salvation? Probably not. Do I know the way to salvation? Probably not. So we need to follow our inner holy higher guidance. We need to quiet our minds, our minds just, thinks that it knows best, or it follows the ego thought system. And there is another different kind of guidance. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation. So a couple days ago, we were talking about having the map home to love. And we're following this map inside of us. We know we're on the right path when we're feeling good, and we're feeling love, and we're feeling joy, and we're feeling peaceful. That's our emotional guidance system. And as long as we keep on following that, we are on the right path. We wander off, we get back on. And I like the part that said, your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. I mean, I don't know why that made me giggle. Probably because yesterday my feet actually hurt. But today they feel great. Okay, so your loving voice will always call me back. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you as you direct me and would have me go. That sentence makes me think of how, like, when you shine your light, other people will be attracted to you, and they'll want to know, like, what you're doing, or they'll just, without even knowing it, just kind of follow in your footsteps. So it's really important that you connect with the divine so that, you're literally a guiding light for other people who then will learn how to tap into their inner guidance. And it's because of you and your spark that lit them up, your guiding light. So anyways, lesson 324, I merely follow, for I would not lead. Tina Jesus definitely declared that the ego hates this lesson. The ego does not like lesson 324 in A Course in Miracles, because the ego has its guidance system that it wants you to follow. The ego will guide you into a very exciting life. How exciting! Oh, your life is going to complete chaos. How exciting. So the ego guides you to an exciting life, and it might be a very financially abundant life because you've been chasing idols, but this exciting life is full of drama. It's full of conflict. It's full of exciting things like divorce and stress and all this exciting stuff. So you do have a choice to follow the ego thought system or follow your inner guidance, the Holy Spirit. The inner guidance guides you to a peaceful life, which of course, side note, will sound very boring to the ego, but you actually truly want a peaceful life. You actually want a joyful, loving, peaceful life. So when you follow your inside guidance, that is following your feelings. That is following your heart. That is following synchronicities. It comes up in the way of synchronistic events. It comes up with meeting just the right person at the right time, getting the right opportunity at exactly the right time. Following your inner guidance might just look like, hey, that looks interesting. I can't stop thinking about that. I really feel like this is the right thing. And then you get these synchronicities, and this is following your inside guidance. So Jesus said that yes, the ego could guide you to an exciting life, but following your inner holy guidance will save you so much time. And that is what you want to do. So why would we want to save time? Well, are you getting exhausted? Are you getting tired? Are you getting weary? Then you are definitely a good candidate for saving time because the reason you feel like that is you are not connected to source. You are not connected to the divine. You are love deficient. You're lacking the things that your soul needs, and you're tired of the ego's guidance. You're tired of the ego's game. You're tired of being part of the rat race. Oh, it's very exciting. Sure. But you're exhausted. So wouldn't you like to save time to salvation, to getting back on the lighted path, to having your feet guided aright, to listening for the call for love, the call of God? You are ready to save time, most likely. All right. So anyways, lesson 324. It's definitely encouraging, but there's definitely probably resistance that will come up with saying, I merely follow, for I would not lead. Makes you sound like a wuss, but you're not a wuss. It takes a whole lot of strength to break free of the egoic system. It takes a lot of determination and discipline and strength to do that. So you're definitely not a wuss. What you're doing is, with your free will, tapping into your true power of being guided by the one who knows the way. By saying, yeah, I've wandered off, but now I choose to return. I cannot lose the way. I have an appointed path. And it's real simple. I feel good when I'm on it. And this other stuff that makes me cry because it's so overwhelming for whatever reason, that's really not my path. And I'm starting to know it. So I'm going to try my best to follow my inner guidance and follow the one who knows the way. We walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure and guarantees a safe returning home. That is truly what we want. Pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 324, Insights. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Looking out through the body's eyes is like having blinders on, because what we see through the body's eyes is the opposite of the truth. Because we are blind to the truth, we need a guide who is not deceived by what the body's eyes show us. We need the Holy Spirit's guidance to show us the difference between truth and illusion. Because we have been so totally lost in the forest of our belief in separation, we cannot find our way out without help. The way to do this is to refrain from deciding what anything means on our own and recognize that we have been blinded by our false beliefs. Our thoughts of separation, which is what this world is based on, seem so real to us that we don't realize that we need to question these thoughts. These thoughts are false ideas, and so the premise on which this world is based is totally false. In truth, there never could be a world of separate bodies. The world is not real. Bodies are not real. Minds are not separate. We have been very mistaken in the story we have been telling ourselves. We have gotten so caught up in the story that most of our thinking is based on the premise that it is true. As we continue following this false premise, we just keep going deeper and deeper into the ego's mire of false perception, which only causes more guilt and fear. The only way out is to avoid making any decisions on our own. We need to be willing to go to that place in our mind that has not joined with separation. We need to follow the lead of the Holy Spirit hour by hour, day by day. In truth, we are not a separate individual with a unique separate mind encased within a separate body. This is not true. There is only one true mind, and that is the mind of love. We have never changed from that love. We remain as love created us. We are an idea in the mind of love. As we open to the truth, we are gently led back to the totality of love, which has never changed. We are led back as we are willing to follow and not make decisions on our own. I merely follow, for I would not lead. You may have heard someone referred to as a control freak or having control issues. The truth is that everyone in this world has control issues. The world is an effect of rejecting God's will and wanting to be in control. It's like we are all teenagers trying to establish our independence from our parent. The Course refers to this syndrome often. It is what it refers to when it talks about our attempt to self-create and when it talks about the authority problem. The wish to be in control is the rejection of God's will that we are one mind, which is undivided and the same. The cost of being in control is the perceived loss of our unity with our Creator. That loss of unity means that we have lost awareness of the strength and love that is ours because of our unity with our Creator. The result is that though we seem to have established control, what we have control of is only an illusion. There is no substance to it. We are in control of the images we make up in our mind. We can have those images act out our beliefs. They can seem to be in conflict, or they can seem to be special partners, allies with which we feel safe in a dangerous world of images. Yet all these images we control have no substance, no meaning and truth, no reality. So we go through life playing with images, thinking that they are real, yet feeling empty, alone, and lacking love. To remember the love we are, and that is ours, there is only one thing to do. We must give up our attempt to control and accept that in truth, God's will is our will. We must be willing to follow the inner guide in our minds, who remains our link with our source. By relinquishing control and following that guide, we awaken to the love, strength, and peace and joy of the self that remains united with its source. We give up control of nothing and gain everything, all that is real. We return to love. This is why it is important for me to remember, I merely follow, for I would not lead. pathwaysoflight.org. Well, what do you think? Do you think you can do this today? Does this seem like maybe something that you would be interested in? I really enjoy the pathways of light and I like the idea of staying united with my source. I love the idea of awakening to love and strength and peace and joy. I love the idea of gaining everything and literally giving up nothing. Why would we ever want to just try to control illusions? That's silly. That literally is playing a game. A game that we've gotten so darn good at. Wow. Anyways, our point is to remember love. Our goal today is to try to give up control. So notice when you are controlling anything. Notice when the ego thought system tries to control. And this can be very subtle. This can be, I don't know, I'm seeing myself micromanage my house. I'm controlling where everything goes. But I don't know, that really seems to work for me, but it's probably something that my mind just does to establish control, establish my independence, I don't know. Notice where you're trying to control others. That's harder to admit when you do that. But we do it. Try to control other people's choices, other people's decisions, what they do with their bodies, how they think. People love to try to sway your opinion to match theirs. That is definitely something to watch out. So anyways, your attempt to control is what is hiding love. And what we need to kind of get more in the mindset of is that God's will is our will, that we have an appointed path. And we can't lose the way, truly. We venture off, but we can get back on this. So watch the images that you are making. Watch when you wander off and think that you got this figured out, because you're following the lead of the ego thought system. That's just where it gets a little tricky, because you can say, I merely follow, for I would not lead. And then you have a choice which guidance system you're listening to. So anyways, what do you think? Let me know. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Lesson 324.